Start by making the amount of tea that you want. For the purpose of this video, I made 4 cups. Of course, choose the tea that you like. When in doubt, I'd say take green tea. For every cup, use 1 tablespoon of gelatin powder. Fill up the cups with hot tea steeped for about 10 minutes, and then using a spoon start stirring in order to dissolve the clumps of gelatin. You can use that spoon to press those clumps against the wall of the cup. This will help get all the clumps of dried gelatin powder soaked with tea. And when all of the gelatin is either dissolved or some of it will still be sticking to your cup or the spoon, you can already add 1 tablespoon of raw honey per cup, because the honey will not interfere with the dissolving of the gelatin, but it also will have an easier time being mixed in under heat. You can now let it sit and just stir every couple minutes. The heat itself and plus the stirring will help dissolve the gelatin. And after 10-15 minutes, when it's well dissolved, you can move the cups to the fridge. Or you just wait until they're almost room temperature before you move them to the fridge. Because technically you're not supposed to put hot stuff into the refrigerator, right? And now after about 2.5 hours, it will be a jello. A bunch of further tips. Use 100% beef gelatin powder only. And while you can use agar-agar and gelatin that will bloom first, the way to make it as shown in this video will not apply. Also, you can speed up the cooling process by putting the cups into the freezer for a while, but don't let it completely freeze. Move it to the refrigerator before that happens, because otherwise it gets mushy. And finally, I don't personally think that it is much of a kid's dessert. Kids in general will be more eager to go for a fruit jelly, but who knows? But for us big kids, it is a light and healthy dessert. It only has the calories you add with the honey, plus a few that are there in the gelatin, which is protein. And of course, you can adapt the amount and type of sweetener to your liking. You may also want your jello to be more glibbery, bouncing around. In that case, try 2 teaspoons of gelatin per cup instead of a tablespoon. And for the purpose of this channel, by the way, I want to quickly mention that gelatin powder was invented in 1845, so your great-great-great-grandma could have used it in her kitchen. Gelatin itself is used as long as humans eat meat, but it would probably not make for a very delicious dessert, because it would basically bring a very strong bone broth flavor. Agar-agar, on the other hand, is around almost 400 years. It came from the Japanese cuisine, and I would definitely do some videos about that in the future. Or with it as an ingredient, rather. Now, what did I naturalize in this video? Basically nothing, because I do not know about the commercial tea jello product, and all the recipes about tea jello that I find are pretty good. Very recommendable when it comes to natural food. But maybe you could say I naturalized commercial jello in general. They all are unnatural, they all have a lot of unnatural garbage added. Whatever garbage means, because this is a natural food channel and not a health channel. And while I know now that there are many recipes about tea jello out there, especially on YouTube, I did come up with that myself because I wanted to integrate tea plus the gelatin into my food. And following a recipe is good, but we can always come up with our own creations to naturalize our food.